I want to talk about my evening out last night. I had contacted Capitol Stage in Sacramento. They're doing a show called Dirty Stories, I think. And I made arrangements to get tickets for Saturday night. Now, Walt is out of town, and I decided I would go by myself rather than ask somebody else to go with me because I was doing other stuff and I didn't know when I was going to leave or anything else. Also, Capitol Stage performs on a riverboat in the Sacramento River, which is right next to one of my favorite restaurants, which is Joe's Crab Shack. Crab is my very favorite food in all the world. And Joe's always has hours wait to get in. So I figured I'd go to Sacramento early, and the show was at 8. I'd go to Sacramento early, get there by 5, and if I had to wait an hour, it was no big deal. Well, I got there at 5. First of all, parking is a nightmare because to get into Sacramento, you cross a bridge that goes up, and the bridge is in the up position right now because they're widening the streets, so you can't go over that bridge. So I found a way to get in, found a way to get to the parking lot, only the road, that particular entrance to the parking lot was closed, so there were like 20 cars that are going down this little tiny road, and we all get to the same point, and we all have to turn around, and there's no sign back farther that says parking lot entrance is closed. So that was a big pain. But I got to Joe's Crab Shack expecting to be told that I had to wait for a long time, and for just one person they could seat me right away, and I had a lovely seat at a window overlooking the bridge. And I decided I would treat myself to a drink, so I had a Mai Tai, which was really more juice than it was rum. And then which was fine because I wanted to stay awake for the show. Ordered king crab. Very expensive, but it's a treat. It's only one of me. Walter's off playing in Boston. He's going out to dinner every night, or going to do stuff. So I figured I could splurge and get some king crab. So the king crab comes, and it's wonderful. But king crab has these claws that when I saved the biggest piece for the last because there was a big chunk like about this that was encased in a rock-hard piece of claw. And what they give you to get into it is this. I don't even know what to do with this. I mean, there's this thing here which prevents you from reaching down inside because it gets caught. It's plastic, so it's useless as far as getting into the crab. So I got hold of the waitress and I asked her if she had something metal that the regular kind of crab instrument. And she went and looked all over the restaurant. There wasn't anything. And she said that Joe's Crab Shack has recently been bought out by somebody else, and the other person, whoever bought it out, decided that this was a better thing to give to people than the right instrument for getting into your crab. So what she did is she brought back a heavyweight bowl, and we wrapped the crab in paper towels, and I jammed his head on it, and it finally cracked open. I was able to eat the crab. So that was fine. I gave her a big tip because not only did she figure out a way of getting me into the crab, but she also brought me a free cup of coffee, which I thought was kind of cool. So then I walked along the river, and I stopped and took pictures, and I had an hour to kill before the show. But I know the director, and I figured that Peter would let me into the theater, and I could just sit there and wait until it was time to open up. No problem. I get to the Delta King, which is the riverboat that it's on, and there's a wedding there. I guess there are two riverboats. There's a big one, which is the Delta King, which is a hotel and a theater and a whole bunch of other stuff, and then there's the Delta Queen, which is a small one that they have parties on. So I don't know if this couple had been married someplace else and was having their reception on the Delta Queen, because that goes out onto the river. But they were taking wedding pictures. It was kind of cool. And so I took pictures of the wedding party, except I was a little embarrassed to be standing there as a total stranger taking pictures, so I kind of did sneaky pictures, and they were bad pictures. Then I go down to the riverboat itself, and I go up to the desk where they give away the tickets, and I asked if the tickets for the show were there or if they were down in the theater, because you go down below deck to get into the theater. And the guy looked at me and he said, "Oh, are you Beth?" And I said, "Yes." And he introduced himself. His name was Keith. And then he explained, sadly, that that night, was the preview performance. It was not opening night, and then opening night is next week. So I had nothing to do. Got back in the car and then tried to find my way out of Sacramento, because I couldn't go across the bridge, and every place I was going into places in Sacramento that I'd never been before, and it was just a total nightmare getting out. But I was home before 9 o'clock, so it was and I don't have a review to write, so I guess it was okay. And I got a nice crab dinner, which I wouldn't have if I had gone with Walt, because it was an expensive dinner for one. For two, it would have been out of the question. But anyway, it was just kind of a weird evening, and I came home with this stupid souvenir. I haven't a clue what I'm going to do with it. You know, it looks like you're supposed to put it under the shell and then open it, but ain't no way.